A multi-millionaire who made his fortune by being a relatable everyman has become one of the most reviled men in America.
Hey there, my friend. In today's video, we'll dive into the gripping stories of famous stars who are currently serving life sentences. Let's uncover the shocking truths behind these well-known figures and remind ourselves that no one is above the law. Drop a 1 in the comments, and let's jump right in. When Percy Master P. Miller began to find success with No Limit Records, he was determined to pull his brothers out of the violent life in the New Orleans projects. Master P brought his siblings Corey, known as C. Murder, and Vishan, also known as Silk the Shocker, into prominent roles within his expanding label. Despite their success with gold records and rising fame, Corey Miller, in particular, continued to struggle with ongoing legal and personal troubles. In 2001, Corey Miller found himself embroiled in a shooting outside a nightclub, marking the beginning of his legal troubles. But things took a darker turn in January 2002 when Miller was involved in another incident at a New Orleans nightclub. During the altercation, he fired a gun, tragically striking Steve Thomas in the chest, leading to Thomas's death at the scene. Miller faced 2 separate trials for the crime. The first trial in 2003 resulted in a mandatory life sentence, but the conviction was overturned due to the prosecution's failure to disclose the criminal backgrounds of key witnesses. Miller was retried in 2009 and again sentenced to life. In recent years, high-profile activists, including Kim Kardashian, have called for a re-examination of his case. However, in 2023, a federal judge upheld Miller's sentence, leaving his fate unchanged. In a 2009 indictment, Diddy was accused of leading a criminal enterprise that coerced women into enduring prolonged sexual acts. Allegedly, he used his power, intimidation, and even drugs to manipulate and control his victims, all while attempting to maintain a clean public image and hide his wrongdoing. Diddy has denied all charges, with his defense team arguing that he is the victim of an unjust prosecution and continuing to assert his innocence. However, prosecutors presented disturbing evidence, including the discovery of firearms and a significant amount of lubricants during raids on his property, alongside serious allegations of abuse and coercion. If convicted on all counts, Diddy could face a prison sentence ranging from 15 years to life. He has been denied bail twice and is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center, where he is under special supervision for his safety ahead of his trial. Soo, who rose to global fame with his role in Squid Game, found himself at the center of a legal storm following the show's widespread success in 2021. He was accused of sexual assault by a woman who claimed that he had inappropriately touched her during a meeting in 2017. While the incident was reported and a formal complaint was filed in 2021, the police initially decided not to investigate due to a lack of evidence. However, in 2022, the case was reopened after the matter gained renewed public attention. Soo denied the allegations, explaining that he had only briefly touched the woman's hand and that it was not meant to be sexual. He expressed regret if his actions were misunderstood but firmly maintained his innocence. At the close of 2022, South Korean prosecutors formally charged Soo with non-consensual sexual assault, a criminal offense under South Korean law that covers sexual acts occurring without consent but not severe enough to be classified as forcible assault. These charges led to a public outcry, with the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism of South Korea halting an advertising campaign that featured the actor. The news shocked the global community, as Soo, who had previously earned praise for his humility and wisdom following the success of Squid Game and his Golden Globe win, was now at the center of a scandal. In March 2024, Soo was sentenced to 8 months in prison, but his sentence was suspended for 2 years, and he was also mandated to complete 40 hours of sexual violence treatment. Danny Masterson, widely recognized for his iconic portrayal of Stephen Hyde on the hit sitcom That 70s Show, which ran from 1998 to 2006, saw his successful career take a dramatic turn due to serious criminal allegations. Between 2001 and 2003, Masterson was accused of drugging and sexually assaulting 2 women at his home, a scandal that would ultimately overshadow his career and reputation. In 2017, several women came forward with allegations against Danny Masterson, prompting an investigation that led to his removal from Netflix's The Ranch. While some of the cases were dismissed, 2 of the incidents proceeded to trial, which lasted for 8 months. During the trial, emotional testimonies from the victims revealed the lasting trauma caused by Masterson's actions. In May 2023, he was convicted on 2 counts of rape. Just 3 months later, he was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison and began serving his sentence at North Kern State Prison in Delano, California, on December 27, 2023, marking a shocking fall from grace for the former sitcom star. Tammy Lynn Sytch, better known as Sunny in the WWE world, is remembered as the original WWE diva, but her life has been marked by a series of struggles. The most shocking incident occurred on March 25, 2022, when she was involved in a fatal car crash in Ormond Beach, Florida. Under the influence of alcohol, she crashed into the back of another vehicle at high speed, causing the death of 75-year-old Julian Lasser. Her blood alcohol concentration was more than 3 times the legal limit at the time of the crash. She faced serious charges, including DUI manslaughter and driving with a suspended license, with this incident being part of a troubling pattern of previous DUI arrests. Lasser's family filed a civil lawsuit for over $100,000 in damages, compounding her legal woes. In August 2023, Sunny pleaded no contest to the charges and was sentenced to 17 years in prison for DUI manslaughter. Florida law mandates a minimum sentence, and due to her prior convictions, the court was unable to reduce her sentence. At 51 years old, she is expected to be released around 2039 when she will be 67. Harrison Norris Jr., known to wrestling fans as Hard Body Harrison, rose to prominence in WCW during the 1990s. After his wrestling career, he gained additional fame by winning the FX competition show Tough Man in 2000. However, behind his public success, his life took a disturbing turn. Norris faced serious allegations of exploiting women, luring them to his home under the guise of offering professional wrestling training contracts. Instead, these women found themselves trapped in exploitative situations. Norris allegedly coerced them into illegal activities to settle debts, using threats to maintain control over them. His actions escalated when he transported several women across state lines, leading to federal charges under anti-trafficking laws. In November 2007, Norris was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, marking a dramatic fall from grace for a once promising figure in the wrestling world. Josh Duggar, formerly a well-known star of TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, found himself at the center of major controversies that led to his arrest and imprisonment. His legal troubles began in 2015 when allegations surfaced about past misconduct involving several of his underage sisters and a family friend. Though these incidents had occurred years prior, they sparked intense public backlash, leading to the cancellation of the family's reality show. In April 2021, Josh Duggar faced federal charges related to the possession of illegal materials involving minors. He was charged with 2 counts, one for receiving such materials and another for possession, each carrying a potential sentence of 20 years in prison. By December 2021, Duggar was convicted on both counts. In May 2022, he was sentenced to 12 years and 7 months in federal prison. Additionally, he will face 20 years of supervised release after serving his sentence and must register as a sex offender. Ryan Grantham, recognized for his roles in Riverdale and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, shocked the public in March 2020 when he was arrested for the murder of his mother, Barbara. At just 21 years old, Grantham tragically shot his 64-year-old mother in the back of the head while she was playing piano at their home in Squamish, British Columbia. In September 2022, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 14 years. His expected release date is around 2036. Responsibility to 2 young children when making the decision. However, the Seaman family and prosecutors argued that the sentence failed to reflect the severity of her actions, leading to multiple appeals and trials. Amidst the legal turmoil, Lockane's husband filed for divorce and sought custody of their 2 daughters in 2020. After enduring several legal hurdles, R.O.T.T.I.N.G was retried and received a new sentence of 8 years in prison, with the condition that she serve at least 6 years and 10 months before becoming eligible for parole. She is currently incarcerated at the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for Women and has recently been denied an appeal to reduce her sentence. Harvey Weinstein was once a dominant force in Hollywood, credited with producing iconic films such as Pulp Fiction, Scream, and Gangs of New York. However, his esteemed career came crashing down in October 2017 when multiple allegations of sexual misconduct came to light. In response, Weinstein issued a statement expressing regret for the pain he caused, but his apology was insufficient to repair the damage to his reputation. As the #MeToo movement gained momentum, numerous women, including high-profile actresses like Salma Hayek, Rose McGowan, and Ashley Judd, bravely shared their stories of abuse. Judd recounted a chilling encounter, stating, "I fought off a series of punches that he ignored. Perhaps he heard them as consent." Within months, Weinstein faced serious repercussions. He was banned for life from the Producers Guild of America and expelled from the board of his own company. In 2020, he was convicted of third-degree rape and sentenced to 23 years in prison. In 2022, facing similar charges in California, he was handed an additional 16-year sentence. Despite a legal victory in 2024, when his conviction in New York was overturned, at 72 years old, Weinstein is likely to remain behind bars for the rest of his life, serving as a grim reminder of the consequences of his actions. Skylar Julius Dillon, once known for his role in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, became infamous for his involvement in one of California's most shocking crimes. In 2004, Dillon and his accomplices were responsible for the brutal murder of retired couple Tom and Jackie Hawks, who were living aboard their yacht. The couple had been selling their yacht to return home and be closer to family. The motive behind the crime was financial, as Dillon sought to steal the yacht. He was charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances related to financial gain. In 2008, Dillon was convicted and sentenced to death. However, due to California's moratorium on the death penalty, he is currently serving his sentence at San Quentin State Prison, one of the state's most notorious correctional facilities. Colin Rashad Walker, recognized for his role in Superfly, found himself facing severe legal charges in 2018 when he was arrested on multiple counts of sexual assault. Prosecutors accused Walker of using his status as an entertainer to exploit women, particularly models, by offering them promising career opportunities. Once he gained their trust, he allegedly assaulted them. Reports indicated that Walker frequently contacted his victims via social media, luring them with promises of professional photo shoots or other opportunities in the entertainment industry. The alleged assaults spanned several years, beginning in 2013. By the time of his arrest, more than a dozen women had come forward accusing him of sexual misconduct. In October 2022, Walker was convicted on multiple counts of forcible sexual assault and sentenced to 50 years to life in prison. Although he was acquitted of charges involving 3 of the 10 victims, the jury determined that he used his influence and status to carry out these heinous acts. His earliest possible release date is projected to be in the 2070s, ensuring that Walker will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. The reality show Welcome to Sweetie Pies, which aired from 2011 to 2018, captivated viewers with its portrayal of Robbie Montgomery, a former backup singer for Ike and Tina Turner, as she ventured into the world of soul food restaurant ownership. The series showcased her journey and the tight-knit family behind her success. However, just a few years before the show concluded, the family was devastated by a tragic event when Montgomery's 21-year-old grandson, Andre Montgomery Jr., was tragically shot and killed in St. Louis. The true story behind the tragedy was even more chilling. In 2020, Tim Norman, Montgomery's son and a key figure on the show, was arrested and charged with orchestrating the murder of his own nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr. The shocking motive was revealed. Norman had taken out a life insurance policy on Andre, offering a hitman nearly $500,000 to carry out the murder. During the 2023 trial, phone records and testimony from his accomplices provided undeniable evidence of his involvement. In the end, Norman was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, marking a heartbreaking and dramatic fall from grace for a once-beloved reality TV star. Joe Son, best known for his role as Random Task in Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, is now serving a life sentence for heinous criminal acts. Before his brief stint in Hollywood, Son was an MMA fighter with an unimpressive record of 0 wins and 4 losses. However, his infamy would eventually stem from a horrifying crime he committed years earlier, a crime that would forever alter his life and reputation. On Christmas night in 1990, Joe's son and an accomplice were involved in the abduction and brutal assault of a woman in Huntington Beach, California. The attack was violent and left the victim emotionally scarred as she endured severe mistreatment before being freed. Shockingly, Son managed to evade justice for nearly 20 years, with the full extent of his actions remaining hidden until he was finally caught. It wasn't until 2008 that Joe Son's arrest on unrelated charges led to a breakthrough in the cold case. His DNA was entered into the national database, which matched evidence from the 1990 assault. After years of living in fear and uncertainty, the victim finally had the chance to seek justice. In 2008, Son faced multiple charges, including kidnapping and torture. Although some charges were barred by the statute of limitations, he was convicted of torture in 2011 and sentenced to a prison term ranging from 7 years to life. While incarcerated, Son was involved in another violent incident that led to the death of a fellow inmate, resulting in a voluntary manslaughter conviction in 2017 and an additional 27 years to his sentence. He is currently serving a total of 34 years to life in prison. Shannon Richardson, an actress known for her roles in The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries, became infamous in 2013 after a shocking crime came to light. In a bizarre series of events, she mailed letters containing the deadly toxin ricin to President Barack Obama, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Mark Glaze, the director of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. Ricin, derived from castor beans, is a potent poison that poses a significant risk to those exposed to it. Amid a turbulent marriage to her husband, Nathan Richardson, Shannon attempted to frame him by planting incriminating evidence. However, a swift investigation quickly unraveled the truth, revealing that she was the one responsible for the crime. In June 2013, the FBI arrested Shannon after she confessed to producing and mailing the toxic letters from her home in Texas. She was charged with 3 counts of threatening the president, 2 counts of sending threatening letters, and 1 count of producing and possessing a biological weapon. During her trial, Shannon claimed that her actions were driven by emotional stress stemming from her troubled marriage and pregnancy. Despite her defense, the court deemed her actions to be intentional and highly reckless. In July 2014, Shannon Richardson was sentenced to 18 years in federal prison after pleading guilty to producing and possessing a biological agent. In addition to her prison term, she was ordered to pay $367,400 to cover the costs of the government's investigation, including expenses related to the hazardous handling of the contaminated letters. She is currently serving her sentence at the Federal Medical Center Carswell in Texas, with a projected release date set for around 2032. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope the stories shared have helped you understand more about the famous stars currently serving life sentences. Remember, love and acceptance are always important. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any exciting content in the future. We'll see you in the next video.